I'm here to provide you a preview of the Unit 1, Week 2 work in our History 221 course. Hopefully by now you've had an opportunity to complete all the required portions of the orientation, to include reviewing all the material in the course site, checking out those resources provided by Campbell University online, and also participating in the required course orientation discussion board about what makes something quintessentially American. Each of the units in our course are going to mirror the design of what I'm walking you through in this Unit 1 Week 2 video. At the top of each of our units of study together, I've created a folder called Common Misconceptions and Difficult Topics, wherein I try to share with you just a handful of points to consider that are often misconstrued or misremembered by Americans studying their history. So you'll see here in the example for Unit 1, I take up, for example, this idea of the savage, that the ancient world was not as civilized as the Europeans who would colonize it, or notions about servitude and slavery being an abnormal condition for the time. So again, I would caution you at each unit start to check out those common misconceptions and difficult topics. Each unit also has the reading assignment outlined. As you'll see here, it's chapters 1 through 3, and I provide what I call a sort of self-check or self-assessment questions. These are the critical review questions that ensure, if you were to answer them, that you have been guided through the major points of the reading. I do want you to note, however, while I encourage you to self-check and assess your understanding of the chapter reading with these questions, they are not required to be submitted to me. They are just as they are indicated here, a self-assessment or check that you would do on your own accord, not something that I have to see, but just a tool for you should it prove helpful. Each unit in the study will also link to some Cengage Learning audio lectures that follow a chronological approach to U.S. history. So again, I provide those there if you find it helpful to have the summary from someone else, Professor Nagel, and also maps and photos and artwork that would punctuate each lesson, just an alternate viewpoint from what you would get in the resources I provide and from your own reading. Also like to provide videos. Sometimes in an online class it can feel like there's a chasm between you and me, and so these videos become a more engaging, for some learners, way to approach the material. I always link to the appropriate Annenberg videos, and again, these are free and peer-reviewed for you. Always give you those indications of where to click on learner.org and which segments of their video on demand resources are most applicable to the material in this unit. I love John Green. I sort of joke that he is my historical spirit animal, and so you can certainly check on his YouTube crash course videos. In each of our units, I link those videos that are most appropriate. And again, I think his view aligns many times with those that I would present if you and I were face-to-face in a lecture format and discussion. And sometimes, as you'll see in this Unit 1, I might provide an extra source that isn't Annenberg for you to view. It isn't the crash course. In the case of Unit 1, there is an edited scene from the movie Amistad that I show you about the Middle Passage of the transatlantic slave trade. Having done the preview thinking or framing with the common misconceptions, having done the reading, having watched videos, listened to online optional lectures, you're then prepared to showcase your understanding. So each unit will have a required quiz that you see here. There are no time limits on the quiz, but I do require that they be completed in one attempt. Each unit will also have a discussion board. This is an opportunity for us to best mirror the kind of conversations you would have if we were on campus together. So you'll see, for example, in Unit 1's discussion board, I take up and have you examine further with exchanges with each other this question of what is the origin of American racism. And I encourage in all the discussion board forums that you are candid, that you use evidence, and that you are respectful of one another. And then I will always read everything that you all have contributed and reply back to you in my comments for the grade. And then finally, every assignment, every unit has a written assignment. And so what you will do each week that there is a written assignment is click into that folder. You will see a file that is both the Word and then another that is the PDF version. You would click on those links to open up the assignment instructions. Then once you've done so and you've completed the assignment, this is the link right here that you click on to submit that work. Don't submit your work to me, please, via email attachments. This all can be done within this Blackboard format where you can go here and browse your computer and click to submit the file. When you do that, it allows me to very seamlessly create marginal notes for you that will be visible to you in Blackboard's Grade Center, as opposed to sending a file and going back and forth with email and trying to figure out how you see my comments. I also want to note that I have provided for you a sort of writing rubric that I call the 4 C's, and I'll pull that up for you just briefly. Sometimes it's best to know not only the audience to which you are writing, but the expectations of that audience. And so we're looking in this introductory history course for writing that is complete, that is clear, that is coherent, and that is correct. And so you see in reviewing this rubric as you make your preparations for your writing assignments what's expected. All right, so what I've done here is just provided that quick format preview of Unit 1. This is where you're going to look at the pre-colonial period and move through the transatlantic slave trade into the very earliest origins of the American colonies. At this point, I think the preview is finished, and I just look forward to reviewing your work and providing you feedback. And for each of the units I'll add, I will do a preview of this sort. Thanks so much, and I do look forward to working with you.